Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Tom. Today's topic, lemons. Most of the material, ideas, and thoughts that will be discussed in this podcast today can also be found in this book, Squeezed, located at tompabin.com. So let's talk about lemons today. So if you hear something in this podcast, a quote, maybe there's a certain line, maybe there's something that resonates you, prompts you, leave a comment for us. Right? Put something, subscribe, put something in there, share it with a friend, and that will help this podcast move forward across the country. So today we're talking about lemons, and lemons are those invisible forces every day that steal time and energy and your progress. The awareness to those lemons is the key to high-end success in every day. And as we build those days on top of each other, they become weeks and months. And think about eliminating these lemons. Number one is attitude. Have you ever heard somebody that has a bad attitude, right? You'd probably think about that's a person that's angry, or that's a person that maybe isn't sending off right good energy or good vibes to the world. They have an attitude, right? They're very pretentious, or there's something about them that causes them to kind of give off some bad energy. What happens if it's the other way? What happens if you gave off good energy and you were positive? And I'm not talking about being the power of positive thinking and being the most positive person every day in your life. I'm talking about being open, right, to what today can bring for you, what today can bring for your business. And maybe that's a new part of your life. And you open up to hope and more hope in the future. As it was said by Cassius and Julius Caesar, right? The fault, dear Brutus, does not lie in the stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. That we are not kings, he said, right? In ourselves. So that recipe for success in that area is gratitude. Maybe it's energy, music, something that gives you good vibes, and having some goals, right? Having a direction for your day. That's that recipe. Number two is probably the one I'm most famous for, and that is casualness. Because we know that casualness causes, thank you, casualties. So casualness is that enemy to success, right? Think about the items that you're taking for granted in your business today. Is it marketing? Is it accounting? Is it your team members? Maybe you're taking them for granted. Well, they might not always be there. How about in your personal life, the personal parts of your life? Communication, appreciation, and just showing love, right? In hugs or whatever to your kids or your family. Recipe for success, urgency. When's the best time to communicate with somebody? Right now. When's the best time for an affirmation to tell somebody that you care about them? Right now. And when's the best time to do some marketing or some get on top of your numbers in your accounting? Right now. Now is my favorite three-letter word. So the recipe for success is that urgency. Lemon number three, controlling the rabbit. And I really should be talking about an elephant, right? Because that is how big it is in our lives. Think about our phones, our text messaging, social media, videos, web pages, things, places you're not really supposed to go to, and how much that takes up your time. Remember, that movement doesn't mean achievement. So stop kind of confusing that busyness with production. And so controlling the rabbit, not getting lost in distraction. So today, what's the recipe for that? Create a to-do list. What are the 3, 5, 7 things on your to-do list? And you're not going to stop till those items are done today. Then you know you have them done. But if you get distracted along the way, because it's hard to stop, you'll know you need to get those items done. Or how about part of the recipe is a technology fast, right? Give yourself an hour, a half an hour. Maybe it's just even a weekend that you set down that technology and pay attention to everything going on around the world. Lemon number 4 is bad gravity. Sure, we all know some people in our lives that, whew, right? Maybe they shouldn't be in our lives. They're bad influencers. They make bad choices, right? I want to limit those people. And sometimes they're family. And that's what's tough. It's hard to eliminate those people. So I can not pay as much, put as much time into them, pay as much attention to them. But sometimes it's not the bad gravity, but it's also the people that don't, right, lift you higher. They're not causing me bad stuff in my life, but they're also not lifting me up. So, right, Oprah said, right, surround yourself with people that are going to lift you higher. So that recipe for success is addition. Who do you want to add to your life? Who's a successful person that you want to have lunch with or hang out with? Who's a positive person that can help add some more energy in your life? Can you obtain a mentor in business, in your spiritual life, or just maybe even just a person you can talk to, right? Find yourself somebody that's a lifter, not somebody that's going to lower you. Lemon number 5 is mental lemons. It's kind of like that movie, right? Inside Out, right? You got joy and anger and fear and disgust, right? They're all working inside your mind, right? And that's how my mind is every day, even mine. Go through different parts of my day with joy taking over, or sadness, or regret, or disgust, or depression. Those are real things. Now, let me be clear, I'm not a therapist, but I know what goes on in our minds every single day. So don't be afraid to ask for the recipe here is professional help. Gather some friends that you can really talk to and talk this out. Don't let that hold you down all day. It might hold down a part of your day, but don't let it hold down a whole day, let alone a week or a month. One of the reasons why angels fly is because they take themselves so lightly. Lemon number 6, fear. I remember when I was young, I was always afraid to ride roller coasters. I always thought, gosh, I'm kind of a big guy. I'm going to fall out of that roller coaster, right? It goes all those, I'm going to flip around. I'm going to fall out. And for years, I lost that enjoyment of riding a roller coaster because of that false evidence that was appearing real to me. I really thought I was going to fall out. So, what's your recipe for this mental lemon today? To be braver is to analyze whatever it is to death. Once I started saying to myself, I'm not going to fall out of that coaster, tens of thousands of people have rolled that, kind of ridden that roller coaster over these years. Those airplanes you're afraid to get on, that risk or investment you're afraid to do into something or into a business, right? Analyze it to death and you're going to find out it's not so bad. And you'll be okay. False evidence appearing real. The recipe, analyze it to death. And number 7. And this might be one of the toughest ones because it will happen to all of us. Maybe some of these you say to yourself, that doesn't really happen to me. That's not a lemon for me. I'm sure you probably have 3 or 4 or 5 of these first 6. But number 7 happens to all of us. And that's called, in the book, the natural squeeze. Something's going to happen to you. There might be an injury. There could be a car accident. There could be a breakup in your home, a divorce, or breaking up with a significant other. Maybe that's a tragedy. Maybe that's a death in your family, an unemployment. Maybe there's money issues. These all sound familiar? Probably. I know one thing more than anything, and that is that everybody needs somebody in our lives. So there's going to be a time that you're going to need somebody. Maybe that's your group. Maybe that's your family. Maybe that's your significant other. The recipe here, be for them first. before maybe something happens, or maybe you are living with your natural squeeze right now. But go and there for them during their injury or when it's time. You often hear, "Well, if there's anything I can do?" When people say that to me, I actually do have them do something then to help because they want to help. So creating your circles of trust. And lemon number 7 is really important because that natural squeeze will come. So think about it. These lemons are those invisible daily forces that steal, rob your energy and your progress. The more you have the awareness of those in your life, you'll have high end success. You heard the recipe it takes to complete and conquer those lemons. Now take those lemons and turn those lemons into lemonade.